Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Season 8, Episode 3, The Marine Ponderosa Wedding Day Massacre. And I really wanted to like this episode. It's their Halloween special, I guess. It's kind of like Friday the 13th with the black screen, the red letters. So it started off really good, and I was interested to see where they were going to go with this. But it just didn't really deliver. Once again, it was kind of a disappointing episode, which was surprising to me because it had the McPoyles in it, which they're usually hilarious. And here, it's kind of like the writing for them just wasn't very good. Some of their lines were kind of cheesy, and they had a few funny moments, but you expect a lot more with the McPoyles, and they had all of them here. Which is another thing that's interesting. They're bringing back so much stuff from previous seasons that it almost feels like this is the final season because they just keep bringing so much back, which isn't a bad thing, but it was just kind of strange. Like, once again, another episode where they've brought back old material, and it had Bill Ponderosa, all the McPoyle family in this one. So I really expected a lot more, and I liked some of the ideas. The bath salts stuff was funny, and it didn't live up to my expectations. So I have to say that episode 2 is still the best episode of the season so far. But what happens in this episode is it starts off with Mac, Dennis, Charlie running through the woods, and they're being chased. It's Blair Witch style here, and they end up in jail along with Frank, and they're being questioned by this detective. And he's asking them what happened at this wedding. It was a bloodbath. Something took place here. We need to know what happened. And they're blaming Dennis because he was Marine Ponderosa's ex-husband. And they think maybe he was there to break up the wedding. And he says, no, I was actually there to make sure the wedding happened because Dennis is tired of paying alimony. So he just wants to be done with Marine Ponderosa. And he just wanted to make sure she married the McPoyle brother. So Mac and Charlie were there, I guess just a party or something, and Frank and Dee show up at the wedding because they do want to crash it. They do want to break it up. The other McPoyle brother came to see them and wants to break up the wedding, so Frank agreed. I don't know why, but Frank just really wants to make sure Dennis has to continue to pay alimony. I'm not sure what Dennis did to piss him off, but it was really funny. And each time Dennis gets close to having Marine sign the papers, Frank is like, damn it. So he's just really like hell-bent on making sure Dennis fails. But the McPoyle family is this weird inbred family. And we learn in this episode they've been inbreeding for 1,000 years. So the whole family is at this wedding, which takes place in the woods. And they meet the McPoyle, the groom. He had some funny lines here, but it wasn't that great or anything. And the best part of this was when Frank and Dee show up, this bat hits Frank in the head. And he's trying to get Dee to suck out the poison, and everybody's just acting crazy. And Dennis is like, the bats don't have poison. That was a good scene. And once they get inside for the wedding, we see the Ponderosas. Well, we see Bill Ponderosa and Marine Ponderosa, and then the McPoyles. They're all over the place. They have all these unibrows and weird facial features because of all the inbreeding. So they're just wandering around, and Dennis goes to see Marine Ponderosa. And he sees that she's got a boob job now, and she's fixed the dead tooth. So he's kind of having second thoughts, but he snaps out of it, and he goes back to his mission. He's like, I just got to get the paper signed, but throughout the episode, things keep getting in his way. And eventually, the McPoyles start to turn into zombies. They start to act like zombies and wandering around. I think it was Dennis and Frank were in the hallway, and one of them crawls by kind of with her body all contorted like someone you would see in The Ring or The Grudge or one of those ghosts or a possessed person. They're just like crawling down the hallway. It's like a horror movie, and I really like that part. But everybody's just acting insane, and Mac and Charlie try to leave in Dee's car. They steal her car, and they immediately drive into a telephone pole. And Dee is watching all of this, and then they run up to her and they say, someone stole your car. So they completely just ignore the fact that she witnessed everything. So she's freaking out. But eventually we come to realize that what happened at this wedding was Bill Ponderosa, who is a drug addict, put bath salts in the milk, which is what they were serving at the wedding. That's what the McPoyles drink, is milk. So he put bath salts there, and it made them all crazy. They turned into these cannibal zombie type creatures. They bit the face of the groom McPoyle and just went insane. And that's what caused the massacre. The McPoyles actually get back together, the two brothers, because the guy marrying Maureen actually says that it's not that Maureen Ponderosa is tainting the McPoyle bloodline, which has been pure. It's that they're now tainting other bloodlines. So his brother understands now that, okay, this is actually a good thing for the McPoyle family. But at the end, the detective finds out about the bath salts, and he's like, okay, I understand what happened now. However, we also find out that Dennis ended up sleeping with Maureen Ponderosa again. And it shows him make that face he made when he slept with the hippie chick, I think in season 3 or 4. I can't really remember, but I know that face is like tattooed on my brain now. So yeah, it showed that face again, and I instantly remembered that. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, once again, another throwback to a previous season. And he slept with Maureen. She doesn't want to marry the McPoyle brother now. And the policeman says, someone bailed you guys out, and we see it's Maureen Ponderosa, and Dennis just screams. So I don't know if they're going to continue this, and she's going to continue to be a character in Dennis's life. I'm sure she'll do a few more things, but I don't think she's going to be like a regular character or anything like that. But yeah, it had its moments. There was some funny stuff in this episode, but for the most part, I think the writing just wasn't as good as it has been. Like I said in the first video of this season, the premiere episode, it feels like each season you get less and less awesome episodes. And then you get some average ones, and then some that just aren't really funny. And this one, I would have to say, is kind of average. It had its moments, but for the Friday the 13th Halloween episode, the Maureen Ponderosa wedding massacre, you really expect a lot more than this. But yeah, I did enjoy the bath salts idea. I thought it was funny they used that. So that's my review of this week's episode. Hope you guys liked this video. Leave your thoughts on this week's episode in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye.